you know, it's basically the world's largest free airdrop. Now, look, even if I didn't let all these other coins get a free ride, which I did, I didn't have to include all the other ERC20s in the world, but I gave them a free ride.
Points.
Yeah, I gave them a free ride out of the kindness of my heart. I could have just let this be for hexagons. This could have been a hex-only network. And it would have saved hexagons from paying all these stupid gas fees, which are exorbitant. I mean, there are coins on Ethereum that can no longer function because the prices are too expensive. We are here to save those guys. We're here to reduce Ethereum's fees, save the users, re-enable use cases that have been disabled, reduce centralization by giving people delegated proof of stake instead of centralized, which is what Ethereum's doing. Like, reduce harm to the environment. It's just so good on so many layers, and there's no inflation. It's deflationary only. It's like amazing. So Pulsechain is absolutely fabulous.
Question. So let's say that there's a dying project on Ethereum, an ERC20 DeFi project from 2020. Because let's face it, most of those projects went bye-bye.
Sure.
And we call that actually on my channel. I told my audience, and I tell my audience all the time, create a moon bag. If you don't know what a moon bag is, it's when your number goes up, you remove initial investment and you remove profit. You can stake and farm, do whatever the hell you want with the rest. But we talk about that a lot, risk management on the show. I think it's important.
In poker, they call it playing with house money.
It's the same thing, but it's just a cute way to say it.
Sure. All right.
Thank you. So basically a project can say, oh my God, I'm a DeFi summer of 2020 project. I'm dying. Richard Hart, please save me. So they can basically go ahead and use Pulsechain instead and leave Ethereum behind and be saved.
Well, you're going to have a lot less fees. I mean, right now, yesterday it was $30 to do a Uniswap swap. That sucks. To have a $30 penalty to on-ramp a user to your project sucks. What if they only want to put in 20? So now it costs them 50 and they only get, if they want to put in 20, they got to put in 50, and then out of their 50, they're only left with 20 because you paid 30 to Uniswap. It sucks. The fees are too high. And Ethereum used to talk about how the fees are too high in Bitcoin all the time. And now the fees on Ethereum are higher than the fees on Bitcoin. And you're like, well, man, and it's just supply and demand. It's because Ethereum's a more useful network. It has more demand. I think it has more users as well. If you want more supply, I'm building the more supply. When you go to your gas station, you know what they do when the gas station's filled up? They build another gas station. They don't wait 10 years to build new gas station technology. No, they just horizontally scale, build more gas stations, build more restaurants. It works great. Works fabulous. That's what I'm doing. No.
Well, I've got lots of questions. What's the minimum requirement to stake and start earning Pulsechain? And the ticker for that is PLS, correct?
Yeah, there's no minimum. Okay. And you got to choose where you're going to stake. You can stake natively in the network by delegating to somebody else. You become a validator, but there's only 33 slots, and you have to run a server. So that sucks as a job for most people. You can stake in the pools in PLSX. So you could stake Pulse versus bridged in Ethereum, which would be ETH. You could stake, anything versus anything else and get rewarded with a percentage of the fees plus an extra incentive token, depending on what pair you're on. It's going to be interesting to see where people choose to actually stake their stuff because there's so many options. And right now you can see this. So if you go onto if you go to pulsechain.com and you click some of the links right there at the top, you can see what coins people are staking on now in the testnet. You can see what prices the coins have in the testnet. There's a lot of really interesting data going on there. And there's actually a ton of transactions. Like, people are using the testnet a lot.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. It's crazy. I've never seen a testnet so busy, to tell the truth. I don't think there is a testnet more busy.
Users, or how many transactions right now?
Oh, God, there's like millions of transactions. I don't know exactly how many users. I never looked that up. But there's an unreasonable amount of transactions.
How many TPS?
You get 4 times more than Ethereum just from the block speed increase from 3 seconds. 3 seconds from 13 seconds. And then I'm not sure where the gas is going to land on mainnet launch, but it's you're at like 4 to 20x what Ethereum is.
Okay.
It'll probably be around BSC levels would be my guess.
Do you like BSC?
No, they've got problems.
What makes Pulsechain secure?
Well, it's mostly Ethereum code. And the Ethereum code, people have lost so much money on it that they already know where the bugs were, and now it's pretty safe. So,
but when Ethereum merges over to proof of stake, because it's currently proof of work, well, first off, do you believe that proof of work is more secure than proof of stake?
No, I don't, which is why you see proof of work networks have more problems than proof of stake networks. Okay. It's that easy. The only proof of work network that doesn't have huge problems is kind of like the really gigantic ones. All the smaller ones have huge problems because they get attacked with rented hash from NiceHash.
What about when Ethereum merges over to proof of stake? Will Hex or will Pulsechain still be secure?
Well, they're totally unrelated. So if Ethereum just went offline, well, Hex will be affected. The original Hex on the Ethereum network will be affected by anything that improves or screws up the Ethereum network. The Hex that is copied for free onto the Pulsechain network, along with all of the other ERC20s of the world, it is totally unaffected by anything that happens on the Ethereum network. Totally irrelevant. Ethereum and Bitcoin and all of the other cryptocurrencies of the world can be turned off. It will have no effect on Pulsechain.
But if you're built on top of something, yes.
Pulsechain is totally unrelated to Ethereum at all. It uses the same code base. So it's like if Bitcoin Cash goes down, how does that affect Bitcoin? Doesn't. They're different networks. This is the same thing. Like if the difference is that Bitcoin Cash didn't add any actual features that anyone cared about to Bitcoin. So the other problem is that they gave away too many free coins. In Pulsechain, the Ethereum guys do not get a free ride. The ERC20 guys get a free ride, but the Ethereum guys are getting diluted by 1.2 million X. So the supply of Pulse is inflated by 1.2 million fold. And all of that supply was given to people that sacrificed to support freedom of speech or donated money to the SENS Foundation for medical research. And there's $27 million raised for medical research through that, by the way. Best guy in crypto, right here.
What
raised $27 million for charity.